Aesthetic, what's not easy to get that. But I'm listening to you, right? Like, it's a good conversation, right? And so, just off the.
That's not.
So, yeah, it was a good conversation.
One thing that.
Third grade, second state, fourth grade. Fifth state, fifth grade. And sixth, seventh, and eighth. right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Monday, August 19th, 2024, City Board of Education meeting. I'm Kim Hopkins, Board President, and I'll be presiding. This meeting is being called to order at 6:01 p.m. The first item on our agenda is approval of the agenda as presented, and I need a motion.
Marcus, sorry, I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Yes.
That's my second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. The next item on our agenda is the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And friends, as we go into our moment of silence, please keep the Garner family in your prayers because they did lose Steve Garner, and also keep prayers for our friends that knew him, that worked with him in our district. Mr. Garner worked for the Nest from July '01 to December 2012. He was administrator in the district office, working on accountability and state testing. And please take a moment of silence. Next item on our agenda is approval of the minutes for July 8th, 2024 board meeting, and I need a motion to approve.
Sarah said, I'll move to approve the minutes from the previous board meeting yesterday.
Second.
All right, so the motion, and we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. The next item on our agenda is approval of the minutes for the August 1st, 2024 board retreat meeting, and I will need a motion.
Definitely, I make a motion to approve the August minutes of board retreat meeting. Marcus, sorry, second.
We have a motion, and we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. The next item, we have listed as public participation, and we do not have any. The next item is falls under reports and presentations. The first we receive from Senate Communications.
Good evening. We welcomed teachers and other professional staff back to the district today. So it was a busy and exciting day. There were some meetings at the building level for some buildings, other buildings. Our teachers were able to work in their rooms and reconnect with colleagues. So it was a busy day for all involved. We also had our Stuff the Bus out back at Secret High School today. Lots of staff members that walked through and were able to pick up supplies for themselves or for their students. And I think that's the second year, Mr. Little, that we've had the Stuff the Bus. So it was a great day for that as well.
We tried to keep track. I think 130 staff members were the number was today.
Okay, great. Thank you for arranging that. The rest of this week, we have professional development. We have our kickoff on Thursday. Breakfast starts at 7:30 and the kickoff in the auditorium starts at 9. And we'll finish up on Friday with more district level professional development and welcome students back on Monday. And remember, Monday is our kind of soft start, preschool K, 3, 6, 9. And then everybody returns on Tuesday. And then the long weekend for Labor Day. So it was a good start, and look forward hopefully to seeing you guys on Thursday for the kickoff.
Well,
Awesome, thank you. All right, next item is board communication, and I don't think we had any meetings or anything since when I spoke. Awesome, all right. So we have nothing under ours. The next item is 6.01, weapons in school regulation, and that is Mr. Roll.
So, as you all know, we are starting our weapons detection system right from the get-go at the high school for student entering. So we thought it would be imperative to have a regulation that goes with our weapons school policy. So in collaboration with our council, with other school districts from around the state, and then looking at other options from around the country as well, we kind of came up with this as a regulation that goes with weapons in school. So it kind of outlines the process of what happens every day with the actual weapons detection system that we're gonna have in place in high school. And gives the option also of doing it in middle school one day or elementary school one day if there's a safety issue going on.
Any questions from colleagues?
That's just the regulations, that's just being added to the bottom of that weapons school policy.
Okay, awesome,
I
thank
think
you.
it should be on the record that another school in our area has followed our lead.
Yes.
With the weapons detection system, it wasn't quite put that way on the news, but they are following us.
I think I did the article that says that did include our name.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
There's a local district that part of the policy as well.
Just a quick question. Have you heard any more, parents reaching out related to the clear backpacks?
No, a couple questions, actually, it's funny, I have gotten a couple of emails with a picture of a backpack, is this okay? And I just replied back, yes, or they've reached out to Dr. Harrison at the high school. But no other comments, it's more just, hey, I got this backpack, does it meet the standard?
Oh, that's lovely.
Say yes and move on. Boys and Girls Club also reached out with some questions about specifics because they provide backpacks and supplies, and Boys and Girls Club also wanted to make sure that they were following the guidelines.
Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Lowell. Next item on our agenda are our action items. With the first one being nutrition services, the meal prices. And we have Mr. Hill.
Free lunches for everybody. Including staff and learners.
So I said you, so I didn't look at when I had it. Wrap it out.
Good, you got
The prices, there's only 3 price changes, and our adult prices are directly related to our reimbursement. So the adult breakfast and the adult lunch and the adult salad lunch will go from $4.75 to $4.85 for the lunches. The breakfast increased to $3.15 from $3.05 last year. And that is because we're getting reimbursed federally for each meal that we serve a student more. So that goes, when we get reimbursed more, then adult pricing goes up. But the adults also, which they've done in the past, is it's more economical to buy a la carte items to separate the meal. So it is a little more economical for the adults. And the snacks for our chips, it went up from 90 cents to $1 for our chips.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know, I usually raise prices of either beverages or the snacks, so I don't have to raise the price of the extra, like an extra entree, because I'd rather have them get that nutritious meal than at a more reasonable price, than to have to introduce that.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw the 60 cents for some big cookies and I was happy. Like, I saw 60 cents, I was like, how do I get that? All right, so that is an action item, and I'll need a motion to approve.
Sarah Savage, I move to approve nutrition service meal pricing as presented.
second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. If there is no questions from the Kirby, all in favor say aye. Opposed? And that motion carried. The next item on our agenda is athletic ticket prices. Is that you?
He's passing all on it. You see money.
When you see money, you think passes, that's. Ticket prices, there is no change from the 23-24 school year. It's basically, we're kept the same, but we are required each year to do this vote. The board sets this price each year. We traditionally do it at the August meeting. So that's where we are. We are still doing the electronic piece, which has worked well for us. at the events. We did have a conversation, if you recall, in regards to the possibility of doing some pricing for spring sports. When Mr. Evans looked into it, there wasn't anybody in our section of the conference really doing that outside of, I think Delmar was the only one who was charging. They seem to charge for everything there. So we're gonna hold off. It just, we can kind of go from there.
All right, thank you. So this too is the action item, and I want to mention to approve.
I make a motion to approve the 2024-25 athletic ticket price as presented. Second.
All right, we have a motion of a second. If there are no questions, Mr. Cameron, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Next item on our agenda is school choice. Is there anything that you say to us, Mr. Bowles, or with school choice, or can we go for a vote?
Any name doesn't say on.
There was one update, one person was added, but otherwise, everything else.
Jeff Benson, I make a motion to approve school choice applications 2025 through 2025-53 through 2025-57 as presented, and to deny school choice application 2025-53. Michael Sherman, second.
All right, so we have a motion, and we have a second. If there are no questions for Mr. Gold, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carried. The next item listed on our agenda is field trips, and of course, we don't have any yet, but I'm sure they will. It's always good to get the kiddos, out. And it's always so educational, so I can't wait to see those. The next item is facilities request. We do have one, and it starts on 9 Dance Center. The requester is Kathy Jensen, and you can see on the screen. And rental dates are for next year, May, there's a couple days between 2nd and 3rd, and then June 8th. So if there aren't any questions, related to this, it's an action item, we need a motion to approve.
Jeff Benson, I make a motion to approve the facility request as presented.
Here's that, second.
All right, so we have a motion with a second. If there's any questions, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. Next item on our agenda is JIIA, title, 9 policy, and that is the role.
Yeah, this really goes with the 7.07 as well. I think talk about it at the same time. We have two policies, one for staff, one for students. But Title IX goes with both of them. So the Title IX regulations were updated August 1st by the federal government. So because they were updated, we had to update our policy. This was written by, not written by me, this was written by a lawyer. We kind of cover ourselves and go through the entire process of what happens when there is a sexual harassment complaint. Along with this, we did training for a bunch of staff over the summer as well to make sure they're ready for the new regulations. But this would replace JIIA and then also GPAA.
And I would just like to add in there, Mrs. will talk about the trainings that we have. Everybody in the district also now, under these new regulations, have to have Title IX training as well. So we're going to take care of that either this week or the first faculty meeting with very similar training as well. So it is, we don't generally have policies this long, but when it's a model policy, we decided to keep a policy rather than try to break part of the policy into reg. We thought this was the best option based on what council told us.
I mean, it's all, but you know, that's that's what's most important.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is the process is all like out. It's easy to follow.
Awesome. And that took effect until August.
August 1st.
So that, I know we talked about this, I think, last month, I believe, where anything that happens
Yeah, if you go-
after August 1st.
If you go up to the top, we put that in there, at the
Yeah.
top of the policy, because you can still have complaints of sexual harassment that happened before August 1st.
Mhm.
And if that would happen, we would go back to the old policy and use that. This is just for anything that happens after August 1st of this year.
So question. Would we just keep both policies active
I mean, kind of yes, but like I said, if you look at the top there, we kept a copy of the current policy. I have it,
Okay,
Cam has it, and Ms. Matt has it as well, in her office. So that would be having just in case.
Yeah, so what was told from our attorney basically said, have that, so if it happens, you can give them
is that,
the policy to say, this is how we have to do this, because you said this happened in June of
Yeah.
23 or something like that.
right, and that's what I want to make sure of, because I know this is replacing, but I also know that this covers August first going forward, and then the old one still covers the previous.
Yes,
All right.
so we kept that one.
And we're also told that there might be some more stuff coming after the election in November.
There you go.
Well, I mean, part of that is this does not cover sports in any way. Most people think Title IX sports. This is not sports. This is all just the sexual harassment piece of, of the actual federal guidelines.
So is the training for the sexual harassment done, has it already been completed now before school starts? Or is this part of some of the training that once the incident's been occurred and then you have to send somebody through?
No, this is every staff can get trained. So some schools are gonna do it tomorrow. Other schools might do it really early in September.
Right.
Everyone's gonna have the training by the end of September.
Roger.
And that includes bus drivers, cafeteria workers, custodians, everybody's. And it's a video that our lawyer put together for
Yes,
us.
sir.
So they can see.
Very good. This, two of the action items,
Yes.
so we need a motion to approve.
Purpose rather move to approve the first reading of JIII. Title IX policy as presented. Second.
Point of order. Is this a first?
This is the first reading.
Of this one, yeah.
Okay.
I know that we've been talking.
We talked about it.
We talked about
Okay.
it. Yeah, so remember, when, Mr. Wright was like, do we need to go ahead and talk about
Right,
it?
that's why I was.
And we were saying that we get a grace period,
Mhm,
yeah, we did talk about it,
Right.
yeah. I'm sorry, can you do that again?
Purpose rather move to approve the first reading of JIII. Title IX policy as presented.
Jeff, it's in a second,
All right.
again.
All,
Second.
we're gonna wait, sorry on that one. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. And for the second one, GBAA Title IX policy, that too is an action item. And we need a motion to approve.
I authorize, approves, 7.08 I8BB. Gifted in. Now, where we're at.
We are.
Oh, we got it. All right, move up one. Oh, I think that's a GBAA, by the way, non-policy as presented.
Derek said, that's second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. The next item is, 7.08 IHBB, gifted and talented education policy, and that's Mr. Zoll.
I'm gonna yield this to.
So we have two policies that we're presenting from the instruction department. The first one is gifted and talented education, which had not been updated in a while and did not reflect what was actually happening in the district. So that's the first one that you see. And then the second policy that we're bringing forward is textbook selection and adoption. And some of that is a change in wording, because we added in instructional materials rather than just textbooks, because often now we're using trade books, online materials and things like that, and we wanted that to represent what was actually happening in schools.
Do you have any questions for Dr. Jeanette? All right, so, the first one being IHBB, gifted and talented, is an action item, so I need a motion for approval.
Purpose rather move to approve the first reading of IHBB gifted and talented education policy as presented.
Derek said, that's second.
We have a motion second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. The next one related to IJI is also an action item, and we need a motion to approve.
You make a motion to approve 7.09. IT, yeah. Textbook selection.
There is a second.
All right, we have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. The next one we're gonna discuss is, 7.10, item 8, class interruptions policy, and we're gonna give that to Casey.
So as we're looking through these policies and what this process has been, this one came up and you can see it was adopted in 1986. And I'm sure it has been looked at since then, but, what we look at, yes, it's very important that the board believes that class interruptions are wrong. There's other things that go on too. And so this like just kind of is very specific about something. We don't have a lot of policies that are like this specific about how we're gonna do things, and there's no regulations along with it. So a lot of this stuff is handled in our code of conduct and everything, so we feel there is no need for this policy. That's what our group has kind of thought. So we would like to look at eliminating this policy because it is covered under the code of conduct and the staff handbook.
Agreed.
Any questions? Cynthia? This is an action item to remove this policy, so I need a motion.
There is I move to approve the deletion of IMH class interruption policy as presented.
Michael Stratus,
All right, we have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. And now we have Mr. Henry.
Oh.
Busy this morning.
He's covering a whole page, Dr. Tyler. All right, so you have some change order requests for?
I do, yes, ma'am.
Great.
Lots of great work happened over the summer in the buildings and grounds department and inside of schools. I just wanted to take a minute and mention that. Custodians knocked it out of the park, hallways are shining, outside of the buildings look pretty good. Athletic fields, all that good stuff has happened over the summer. We had 160 projects going into the summer, and we've completed all of about 40 of them. So I have 40 open, but those are because of minor cap funding and stuff like that that we're going to be holding off. So this is one of the projects that we did over the summer was the Blaze Elementary roofing project. You remember last year we completed the majority of it. We came back this year just to put some snow guards on. So not hoping for snow, but if we ever get it, I don't want it to wipe out the gutters and the soffit. So basically that's what this change order is. It's just adding that. Now, if you remember authorized allowances, so we had $60,000 built into the authorized allowance. We had to take 24,000, which is a true change order, out of our local funds to make the 84 up. So basically we're going to be passing two separate ones, change order 1, which is this one here, and then authorized allowance change order. And both of those add up to the total that we needed for the roofing project. Any questions?
All right, and that also is, both of those are action items, so I need a motion to approve, 7.11 SSD and 423.001.
Jeff Benson, I make a motion to approve change order request number 1 presented.
There is a second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. The next one is 7.12 SEA _23.001, and that also is an action item, we need a motion to approve.
There is I move to approve change order number 2 as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. Then we have Mr. Henry, he's going to talk to us about Fred Douglass.
All right. So the Fred Douglass Access Road was also completed over the summer. And the good thing that I want to say about that is it turned out really good. The 6 companies that did it did a nice job. It's a better road than what we were on coming in the back of the school. So for the trucks, it'll be a lot better for Julie and I to get the trucks in and out of there. Fire trucks gonna have no problem getting in and out of there and all that good stuff. So it was a great project. It came together, just remember, because of a lot of help that we got from outside, with Danny Short and Senator Richardson, those guys. So it was appreciated. But the good thing about this one is, it's a change order about adding a small road up to the boiler room, which if you've ever been behind Fred Douglass, that thing, there wasn't much of a road left there. It was mostly potholes and stuff like that. So the contractor was like, look, buddy, I'm gonna pull this off for you. For nothing else I do for you, I'm gonna pull this off for you. I said, all right. So I said, I can't put a new road in here and then that thing had to stay. So this is basically the change order for adding that piece of road out to our boiler room. So it would come out to like 10,000. He fit it into the budget. we were able to pull it off, I'm happy to say.
All right, friends, this too is an action item, now I need a motion for the change order for Fred.
I make a motion that we accept the 7.13 Fred Meadows rate access. Change of 0.01.
Marcus Rhoda, second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carried. And I did see the parking lot in middle school, but like it was.
Looked like a new building, right?
Yeah, I drove by, it was all blocked off, and I saw them.
Turned out nice.
It did, really good. All right, next we got Mr. Hill, and he's gonna discuss some salaries.
We'll see three salary schedules. Yes, so if Mr. Henry learned to delegate his action items a little more, we would. Take as much time. I've actually got more tonight, it looks like, but we'll get through it fairly quickly. This and the next one, there was two administrative assistant salary schedules. I think at our board retreat, it was explained to you how we had been operating in the past. Very spreadsheet based. Really, the impact of this was that a column or two did not impact anyone's pay. It just impacted the schedule that you approved prior. So what we just wanted to do is officially have you reapprove it to fix the two issues. They were just small issues in a few of the columns. And I think one column for one pay, I think it was the you got the teacher. Teacher one was, I think it was the B15 or B30. The whole column was off in one specific area, so those are the two things that we're fixing. Again, it's corruption in the spreadsheet more than anything, and it slipped through the cracks when it was sent to you last time. So just open and honest with you on that. So.
Okay, so the first is an action item for our administrative assistant salary, is there a motion to approve?
Marcus Rhoda, move to approve the FY 25 administrative assistant salary schedule as presented.
Jeffries, I'll second.
For the motion and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. The next one also the action item is the teacher salary schedule, and I need a motion.
Sarah Sanders, I move to approve the FY 2025 teacher salary schedule.
Second.
The motion and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. And now we have Mr. Hill with his financial report for us.
You also see in that last one you just approved that we fixed the issue with being able to see in the second sheet where you're set for. So.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which one would you?
First, we will do June. Okay. You'll see, because of the brief meeting that we had in July, which was the reorg meeting, and because it's so early in the month, we were not able to present the closeout, which is basically the June finance report. I also do startup, which is July here in a minute. But what I think the key is bottom right-hand corner. I think is really probably what you want to see. Which is operating units. As of month end, we were at 100% and we were at 1.3 million under budget. You'll see here that spending was under what we had planned for. I can just basically tell you that that's a good thing. And although I did not set the budget, my staff managed the budget for the 9 months of the year. So we were able to, again, make sure that we stayed under budget. So just wanted you to be able to.
That rolls over into this year now, then, right?
Yeah, we'll show you a nice report here in a few minutes. And you're gonna see exactly how much. Tax collection was up 35,942 with about 18K in delinquent collection. And currently that made the year end at almost 103% of budgeted tax received. Now, what I can tell you is the senior property and disabled vets was not received in FY 24. And that was due to just the timing of when it came in. And so we did receive it, but it did not, the system shut down, hit the books until July. And you're going to see where that hit the books here in a few minutes when I show you that. So set asides are at 2.9 million. And based off of what we see in the financial position report in future months, we probably are going to want to discuss maybe increasing either set asides and reserves. But we'll have that discussion at a later point because I want to give you the information. Y'all think about it and then we come back later. And then last but not least, is our monthly revenue. We did exceed revenue in many areas. As you were aware, red in this report always means a good thing. Overall, a good year with more revenue and less expenditures than anticipated. So you'll see here that again, we had more revenue, but this was not an all funds budget. This is mostly an all funds budget, but again, it was not. This category here, if you scroll up, Cam, the budget, if you remember, up until a certain point when y'all approved it, was moving. It was a moving target, and we decided to stop that so that you could actually see how much was coming in. So, and you'll see in the report that I'm about to give you for July, where we've already pre-planned for that. Do you need to, you wanna?
We will approve it, but go ahead.
Go ahead,
Go
okay.
ahead.
Then go to July. You'll see for this year, operating unit expenses were at 8.3% for the fiscal year, with a total of about 6.49 expended. Due to the startup process, you will see some areas looks like it's trending lower. That's really nothing to be concerned about at this time of year, because in July, it was pretty much a couple weeks there of just pure startup activities and only about 2 weeks actually hitting the books. So what you'll see is in August, a lot of additional items have started hitting the books for the startup activities. We are just over $1 million encumbered and about the same on the expended. Next month will be a true depiction, as I had mentioned. Any questions on that?
No.
What, actually, go back up to the camera quick. We also, if you remember, talked about some of these items. I'm probably gonna, you'll see, we said move to BO finance, these were the items that I told y'all that we weren't gonna change in this year, but I wanted to leave them in there initially because we're used to seeing them and then mark appropriately for you. That's what we have. This is presented a little differently, and the reason is what we started seeing was tax collection is set up differently because you actually are approving each month what you're getting for the prior month. You're not actually approving the month we're in. So what we did is we actually took off that cycle of 2 to keep it a year, just for a year's report. I can always give you the prior years if you want it. But the reason is, and also making sure that we can basically depict the current year, the delinquent years, and then things like this $500,000 in disabled vets and senior property tax as it comes in, kind of where we truly are for that year. And then if we need to reference the prior year, we will. Basically, we are at 0.7% of this year in our taxes. It does appear, because of the way this is depicted, as we're at 8.4, but again, that's because we have last year's taxes being reflected in this year's report. So we're gonna have to remember that as we go back through the year and as we forecast. I may modify this for you in the future to have another category of, this takes that out, but just for right now, wanted you to be aware. Any questions on that? Set asides are 2.95 as we discussed, and then monthly revenue. We have some areas, this is being reflected as FY anticipated. And the reason is that until December or January, when we do our final budget, I felt that we should call it anticipated because this right now is what we're anticipating getting. Some of these categories, we don't have items in, and that is because we'll see kind of as other things come in, like we're school improvement RPO grant, you know, we know what we have there. We've got child safety awareness, I think it is. Filter first funding, I think you Mr.
We hope it comes back.
We hope it comes back, but we don't have any, so we left them in there. But just so you kind of see, and what we did is we also allocated in all these different categories where we think we're going to end. So if we scroll down to the bottom, you'll see we think we're going to end at 59 million. And we're at 39 million currently, and we're going to continue to see that as these other areas come in. Does that make sense? And then you're not going to see as much red, which was a good thing in this category, in this column right here. Make sense?
I just want to say that, and I think I can say for all of us, we appreciate the changes that you have, that you have made and incorporated and for giving this information to us to make it easier to read and follow.
Well, I appreciate it because it's helped me, and I think maybe by helping me, it's helping you too. School and choice, remember, we also, I wanted y'all to be aware, is we took that out of the other report and put it in here and made it a negative because we decided that it was a loss in revenue and not an expense, because it is for our students.
Right.
It's just we're not getting the revenue from it. Any questions?
So we have, two, motions that we're gonna have to do. The first one for June, and it was an action item, so we need, approval for that.
Deputy, I make a motion to approve the June monthly financial report as presented.
Marcus, second.
For the motion, we have a second. If there's no further questions, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. The next one for July is also an action item.
There are second, I need to approve July monthly financial reports as presented.
Deputy, second.
We have a motion, we have a second, we can continue the discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. And now we have a report from Mr. Bill related to our position report.
I told you 9 months ago, you get transparency, and I'm gonna give you some, here, because, overall, this past 9 months has been stressful, and just being honest with you. I can not lie, because we've not only, changed the way we're operating, but we've had an 80% turnover in staff, just in my department. There's been a lot of things going on. We're working to modernize and have gotten, feedback from buildings and employees on the changes we're doing. And what we've also figured out is the system used prior, which I've shared with Dr. D, although it was effective, was not necessarily efficient. And what we want to do going forward is make that more efficient for you. And, can continue to be effective. The reason I say that is that that's a lot to consider. But at this time, if you actually scroll down to the bottom right-hand piece of this report, there's a lot of information that goes in here. And if, and what you're basically seeing is in all these different categories, and scroll back up, you're actually seeing, and as y'all approved this, but I kind of just wanted to hit on it real quick, is that you're seeing that we have a projected 1 month local payroll, and you're actually seeing at a specific time of year how much money we have on hand, so to speak. And what that does is it takes all things into consideration, and then we have to take this year and last year and do a comparison. I actually wish that this report, because this report is something that you'll have to sign and we actually send in. Actually, the 3 of us sign it and we submit it to the Department of Ed to basically say, here's where we are. What I can tell you is that, last year at this time, we were at $12,750,173.38. This report is $13,816,561.83. So we're $1 million higher this year than we were last year at this time, which means we're continuing to operate in a very good lean position to try to continue to keep this district where it needs to be as we move past ESSER. So what I want to tell you is that ESSER is, of course, is going away.
Right.
So we've got to continue to maintain that. So although we are doing really well, we've got additional things that will continue to hit the books that we have been supporting outside of our normal operating budget. So although our operating budget has grown, it's grown by over $1 million. That's a good thing. It's also something to be aware of is that that is what we have. We don't have the millions upon millions of ESSER funds to fall back. So just want you to be aware. So in looking at the summary page here, this is the final number I was giving you. And that would be basically what we're projecting available as of 10/15. And then again, you do that a year-over-year comparison, and that's how you get that number, which was the $1 million in increased funds. So just to make it
When you say the increase in funds, the increase as plus or increase on what we gotta pay for the employment?
there is an increased employment because of raises.
Raises, that's what I was thinking.
So yes, that
That's
is
where,
factored into this report as of 10/15.
Right.
Again, the way that they do these quarterly,
Mhm.
so you have to look at it quarter over quarter to truly see how you are. But yes, it takes that into consideration.
Okay.
What we'll have to do is continue to monitor this, and you hope that that number goes up, but as people are aware, at some point it will not, and then we're across that threshold between those two lines in the spreadsheet, and then you start eating into it, which means you start moving towards a current expense type referendum.
Right.
But at this point, you know, we don't have to worry about that, and that's kind of what I wanted to make clear to you so far. We're in a
Very
good
good.
spot, and then we'll continue to move forward.
Thank you. All right, this to the action item. And I need a motion to approve the conditional report.
Mark, sorry, I move to approve the financial position report as presented.
Zero seven, that's second.
We have a motion and a second. If there is any further discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. The next item is our long-range agenda items. And I did mention to Ms. Burns that, she's been doing a really good job of getting the information out on our social media, platforms, so that the families can see, and I see a lot of people sharing the different things that are out there. But just a reminder, so today, we did have the 10th and 12th graders getting their Chromebooks, in their schedules from the high school. We do know that today, teachers, did come back in last week, with new teacher orientation was last week. On here, you'll see about the 6th graders in house, so if you have 6th graders, you might want to show up to the middle school at 5:30 on the 21st. There are some meet and greets for, pre-K, also, that's gonna be out at the high school, and that time is to be determined.
It is 4 to 6, I believe. Hold on, I'm double checking my calendar.
Okay,
That's Wednesday night, correct?
yes.
4 to 6.
So that will be 4 to 6, so if you have a pre-K student, the meet and greet is on the 21st, and the high school from 4 to 6. Another opportunity to pick up Chromebooks will be held on the 22nd at 1 p.m. for our 10th and 12th grade. You'll see a meet and greet for Fred at 6. Again, these things are on our social media platform. They're all out there. What is really important is to know, as Dr. Dean has already covered, the first day of school for students that are the lowest grade level of those schools would be the 26th. So your pre-K, your kindergarten, 3rd, 6th, and 9th. And then the 27th, everyone is back. So just be mindful of that. And pretty much everything else is out there. So those are our long range for right now. We'll see more as each month is updated and change.
About half of the students came through just today, 424 students walked through that high school today.
That's about half.
Roughly.
Yeah.
It was a study flow. I was over there with meetings and it just was.
Question on Chromebook. When we hand them out, who's the accountability of them? They sign them out, and
They sign
then they
for,
have accountability.
yeah.
The student signs for them or the parent signs for them?
I think the parents. I believe I haven't signed yet this year, but I think last year the parents, I think I signed. They give you sign out the book, the Chromebook,
Mhm.
but they also have you sign about damage.
Mhm.
So it lets you know the cost and what those things are. So every student will get one, but every student also is aware that you need to take care of it because you're
Yeah.
gonna collect it, at the end of the school year.
Thinking when they come back and they don't have them, what kind of consequences we just, I know we have them in the classroom, we just issue the one from the classroom to them so they can
Well, that's the
continue
way
to
it
get their
happens.
education.
So they carry their
Yeah.
Chromebook to class, they carry it home, they do their homework assignments on it. A lot of teachers use like Google Docs. So give them their assignment through Schoology and everything is like submitted electronically.
But if they leave it at home, there are
Right.
additional devices.
Yeah, I know when I was a substitute, we had on in the class.
All right, the next item is executive session for a personnel matter, legal and student matter. So I need a motion to leave public session and go into executive.
Zero seven, I move that we enter into executive session.
Thank you, Charlotte. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries.
Thank you all for making us look proud, making us look good.